Quiet, okay?
Just double cookies.
All right, let's see. All right. See if we get Angie on. I send her an invite. She should be able to pop on. All right. Yep. Trying to get Angie on. She's not used to doing the Facebook Live stuff, so make sure we get her on. And this will be the truth number 8 with Angie Morfin. Okay, so hopefully she'll get on in a minute. I was making sure that she knew she had to get on her background with the EMK and all that other stuff. It's a waste of money. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. Adding, which means she's getting on, which is awesome. Okay, let's see.
Are you there?
Yeah, are you there? No, I'm just kidding. Are you there? Sorry. We're a lot alike. I'm just kidding. No, I was on the other phone and then you were calling and then I was having background noise like, oh no, híjole, way. I'm just kidding, but all right. Well, the truth number 8, this is your video. I've actually followed your story since before you emailed me that YouTube clip, which I saw and it brought back some memories from it. Introduce yourself. Tell us your son's story, which is when I was watching that YouTube video, that was his best friend that ended up getting murdered too, right? Shortly after.
Yes. After Ruben died, all the friends were paranoid about everything, and
I'm so sorry
it was
about
like,
that.
you know, I live in Salinas. Let me just start with that. I live in Salinas, and here it's either you were born here or you're born in Mexico.
Yep.
And after Ruben was murdered, all his friends, they all got paranoid. Everybody was paranoid in town, and it became like American Latinos against Mexican Latinos. And
hold on, real quick. You know, that's what the big problem is by the border, is right
Yes.
there. You're either Mexican or you're Latino Mexican, and they don't accept you. And that's how it was for my mom's family. So it's just nuts. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying that's a big point right there.
No, it's always been like that, you know. But they try to hide it. They try to say that we love each other so much and that we stick together. No, the Chicanos from the 70s that fought for Chicano rights, they're using these people for their own political gain.
Yes.
It's not that they really care about them. They don't, because they're the ones that abuse them more than anybody else.
I agree
And
with you
it's really
110%,
sad.
and that's
we all
a
get
big
caught in the
problem.
middle.
That's the big problem in
Yeah.
America with what's going on with
Everybody
the border.
thinks
I mean,
everything's hunky-dory.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that problem's always been there since I was a child.
So your
You know,
name's, for the
I
people
don't
that
know.
are just now getting on, Tanya that know you, but your name is Angie Morfin. So how do you say your last name the right way? Because I know that, huh?
It's Morfin.
Morfin. See, I thought that. Someone told me I was wrong. I was like, no, that's a Hispanic last name. It's Morfin. Okay.
It's
Really?
Morfin.
Morfin.
But I call it Morfin.
Okay, I was wondering because I was like, yeah, I have relatives with that same last name, so I was like, there's no way Morfin. That's like the Gambino
I
thing.
don't like to be called Morfin. Morfin? It sounds weird. Morfin.
Sounds like a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your son, Ruben, but let's start from the very beginning because there's a big history with your story. Sorry, I have a troll I just deleted, so we're good now. I had a troll. We're good.
Okay. I'm a crybaby. When it comes to talking about Ruben, I can cry. I mean, it's been 27 years and people ask me, well, why do you cry? It's like, this is something you don't get over.
Because
ever.
that's your baby?
It's like, that was my baby. He was my oldest, and just talking about him or thinking about him, it just tears my heart apart.
Well, people need to know
Because
that because we have a big deal going on with illegal alien immigration, which has nothing to do with being a Chicano. And people have that wrong. See, a lot of people are pretty stupid. Mexicans don't like the Latinos that are living in America. So we need to make sure that people understand there's a lot of hate right there.
yes, there is. There's always been a lot of hate, and a lot of people don't understand it. They think we're all the same, you know. Not until the amnesty, that's when I started hearing the Chicanos from here start saying, you know, that we were all Mexicans, and I thought, that's not right, because my dad never taught me that. My dad was from Mexico, and he never told me I was Mexican. He always told me I was American.
Okay, can I make you laugh? Do you want to laugh real quick? I just told Marianne this. My grandfather's names were Perfecto and Hernado, and I look like the whitest guy you've ever seen. And they're from Mexico, so trust me.
Well, I didn't know you were Latino until you told me.
Oh, well, sorry, I look white, so I go with it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
You look good. Yeah, but you know, it's really hard. I think it's really hard, especially here in Salinas, that people don't understand, because we live in the agriculture industrial. All they care about is the lettuce on their table and cheap labor, and that's not right. And you know, since Ruben was a kid, little boy, you know, he had to compete in the school system with these kids, and I was even told by a principal that he cared about the 89% Spanish-speaking kids, and he didn't give a rat's ass about the 11% that were being left behind, and that was my son included. So they know where the money's coming from. It's all about the money, and it's always been about the money.
It's
you know,
it's the same
they're rich,
thing.
and they're making them richer and richer.
It's the same thing with the Democrats who used to be Democrat. Now they're just like criminals. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's so sad. Sorry, I need to get back on topic. Let's get back on topic, because then we'll start laughing and crying at the same time. I'm just kidding.
Well, you said you were going to joke.
Well, you need to. You need to laugh. And here's why I do that. Because not only are you a victim when your son was murdered, but then you become a victim of the system. And then on top of being a victim with the system, you become a victim between the lawyers, the judges, and the attorneys. I've been following all these cases, and none of them make sense to me. None of them. Sad.
Yeah, no, they don't. It is sad. I mean, it seems like victims don't have a voice anymore, to tell you the truth. I was supposed to go to the victim march in Sacramento, and I didn't go because it's like Jerry Brown's going to be there telling me, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss, but yet he's letting all these criminals out, and kids are getting killed, people are getting killed, and it's all about the money. I'm just like frustrated with California. All these victims groups out there, what are they actually doing? You know, what are they doing? Just taking the money in and not really helping us. I'm just sick of it. I get scared for my grandkids, my children still, you know. My son is only 30, and I want to see him live, you know, and he's got 3 small kids, and my daughter, you know, she's got 3 small kids, and it's scary out there. But, you know, from the beginning, one of the politicians once told me, aren't you scared for your kids? It's like, don't threaten me.
Yeah.
Especially not with my kids. Because that's the thing they tell you right away. Well, aren't you scared for your kids because of what you're doing or what you're saying? No. I leave my faith in the Lord.
Amen.
I've been blessed a lot. I've been blessed a lot in the years that Ruben's passed. Even my daughter tells me all the time, Mom, you're the person that is more blessed than anybody I know. But, you know, you get discouraged. You get very discouraged. I want to see my grandchildren have a good future. I mean, they're never going to witness what I witnessed as a child, you know. We had a great childhood, I think, growing up. 60s, 70s, even the 80s was still good, but after the amnesty, everything went to hell, I think.
Well, I grew up on tortillas and beans and green chili and all that, and we grew up fine poor. Now you have to be worried about all these people that are out there just, they're not poor, they're just evil. You know what I mean? So it's a different generation.
Yeah.
I got little Enza, she likes green chili. No.
You wanted me to tell you a little bit about Ruben, how he died. Well, Ruben had just turned 13, and he had he was into little girls, and he had gone to Orange County that weekend to spend it with my family for the holidays because I was working. And I thought it was the best thing, you know, because I didn't want him home alone or trying to get into any kind of trouble. Because between my house and my mom's house, he was always running back and forth. So I always had to be calling my mom to make sure he was there, or she would call me to make sure he was there, you know. And they had just came back from Orange County, and my mom said he was sleeping already, and some friends came by and asked him if he wanted to go to a party, and he really didn't want to because of the long ride. But they finally convinced him that there was some girls that wanted to meet him, and he got up and decided to go. I was still at work, and he told my brother if he would take him to the party. My brother told him he would take him, but that he couldn't pick him up because he had a date. When the party was over, they started walking home, and he wasn't even a block away from my mom's house when 2 carloads of gang members jumped out of the cars and just started beating up on the boys. They actually grabbed my baby by the shoulder and shot him in the back of the head. They executed him. It was really hard, you know, to get that call. I had just got home from work, and the phone rang, and I really didn't want to pick it up. Because my husband doesn't let anybody pick up the phone after 10 o'clock. It's just something he doesn't like. But I told him I need to know if Ruben's okay. I just need to know. I have to pick it up. So I picked it up, and I could hear my mother screaming, "They shot the niño, they shot the niño." And I knew that was my baby she was talking about. And she told me that Willie had run to the house to tell her that Ruben had just been shot and that I needed to get to the hospital. But she told me not to worry because Willie told her that he only seen a little bit of blood on his cheek. And she was like telling me, she goes, "He'll be okay. You know, there's plastic surgery now. You can't even tell." I just got to the hospital, you know, the fast as I could. And I went to the first hospital that was closer to our house. That's where he was born. And they told me that he wasn't there, but that they heard a young man had been taken to Memorial Hospital. And I rushed to Memorial Hospital, and they wouldn't let me see him. They said anybody except me could go in to see him. But they wouldn't tell me if he was my son. But they just told me there was a young man that had been brought in with a gunshot wound to the head. If I had religion, they kept asking me about my religion. But they wouldn't tell me why. They wanted to know about my religion or anything. They wouldn't even tell me his name, nothing. I finally got a hold of one of Ruben's uncles that lived in Lockwood, and he came down, and he was the first one to go in, and he begged me not to go in. He told me to just remember him the way he was. And then my husband went in, and he also came out crying, and he was like shaking, and he told me not to go in, just to remember him the way he was. But this was my baby they were talking about. I couldn't just not go in. And that's when the doctor came out and told me in my ear, he whispered in my ear, "Did Ruben have any enemies?" And I said, "No. Ruben had no enemies. Everybody liked him because he had friends that were Sureños, and he had friends that were Norteños, and nobody would hurt him because he would tell me that all the time." He goes, "Well, it's like they grabbed him by the shoulder and shot him in the back of the head."
More like a hate crime. More like a hate crime and gang thug violence. Nuts.
And I told him, "Well, I didn't want to hear that. You know, you don't want to hear that somebody actually touched your baby."
Yeah.
So I sort of like took it out of my head because I didn't want people to think he deserved to die or something, you know? Because when you're going through that, I mean, I think you go numb. You're actually going like through a nightmare that you want to wake up and you can't wake up. And everybody started saying that it was a drive-by shooting, that it was a drive-by shooting. So I went by that for a long time because I didn't want to actually think that Mariscal grabbed him or touched him. But the doctor said that he was going to let me go in and see my baby, but they were going to clean him up a little bit. That he was dying, and they didn't know if he would live through the night because they had just blown out half of his brains. As I walked through the hallways to where he was, Ruben's friends had already heard about him being shot. They were all outside, standing by the doors. As I walked in, I could see my baby laying on that table, and they had the machine on him, and he was shaking. The doctor told me we're going to have to cut the machine. He's not going to live anymore. There's no use in having him on the machine, and we're going to cut it. I asked him if I could give my baby one last kiss before they cut it, and they let me. And I could see a teardrop come out of his eye, his good eye, because the other one was like swollen, and the bullet was lodged in his eye. It didn't come all the way through. It's lodged in his eye. And they cut the machine. But I still wasn't sure because this baby on the table was swollen, you know? So I asked if I could remove the cover so I could see every piece of his body because I knew where every scar on he had was. But as soon as I pulled the cover up and I saw his little hands, I knew he was mine. He chewed his nails all the way to the bottom, just like
yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I knew that was my baby. I sat there till, I would say about 5 o'clock in the morning, till the mortuary picked him up. I was scared. It's the craziest thing, but I was actually scared that they were going to steal his body parts because all night, that's all they kept telling me, that they wanted me to donate his parts.
They forget that he's a person still, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I told him that I wasn't going to leave there until I was sure that my baby wasn't going to be hurt anymore. I know it's crazy, but I didn't want them hurting him anymore.
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
My Uncle Matt died 30, longer than that, 1991, and my grandmother and my mom and my aunts and all them and my uncles still feel like it was yesterday, so that's not crazy.
Yeah. Well, I get attacked a lot because of it. Everybody tells me I should forget. You know, you can't forget. You can't forget what you see. You can't forget that somebody actually hurt your baby. Because no matter how bad he was, even if he wasn't, I mean, he wasn't bad to me. I used to compare myself to my baby, and I would think, oh, there was nothing compared to the way I was, you know? He just wanted to meet a girl. What's wrong with that, you know? I was blamed for letting him out. I mean, he just blamed me for everything. And to this day, I still get people telling me, well, what was he doing out there? You know, when I was in San Diego last month, that's the first thing the reporter told me from San Diego, the Univision, is like, well, what did he do to them? You know, it's like, come on, he was just a little boy. That's their mentality, you know.
The next time that you see that guy from Univision, you take his own microphone and you smack him in the face, because for him to be acting like that to you is ridiculous. They're interviewing you. You know what I mean? I'm sick of people being victimized by mainstream media, all these stupid mockingbird idiots. So I'm sorry that happened to you.
Well, you know, here locally, they won't even interview me or even talk to me. I have a lot of people from the media on my Facebook, and they don't respond at all. They know what I do and what I say. Have they called me about anything? No, they don't call me. I don't know why. But
after Ruben was murdered, you had investigators come. I remember the story from when I was a kid. you were actually on America's Most Wanted. When you sent that to me, I remember seeing that episode. It was a big deal when your son was shot. People were finally starting to wake up that it wasn't just thug crime. We had an illegal alien criminal regime. Sutrese, MS-13, whatever you want to call it. It was a big gang problem in California.
It still is. It still is, but nobody wants to face it. It's all about the money. That's what I say. You know, they don't want to hear me because I'm always throwing it in their face. It's all about the money. They don't care about the kids. They just want the money in their pockets. Any program, more money. That's all it is. You get tired of fighting the system, you know. I don't know. I've been fighting this for a very long time, and I had hopes with President Trump. You know, I've been on board since 2015 when he first announced, and I knew he was going to win. I just knew it because people are fed up, but it's the media that turns everything around. It's really sad, you know.
Well, after your son passed away, I mean, were you able to get help to find who his killer was? Was there any kind of
Actually, it took a year before I knew anything about Ruben's death, because nobody was really talking. And it took about a year, almost to the day, because it was in December of 1991 when they actually put it on TV before they even told me about it.
I know, you told me that, and I tripped out. You told me that, and I tripped out about that. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's like, they put it on TV, they were looking for Ezekiel Mariscal and Ruben's death, and I was like, what? Nobody even contacted us or anything. But, you know, like I tell you, I've been blessed. The Lord has really, really blessed me. One of the detectives on Ruben's case, he was the first one, Leonard Wilson, I think that was his name, Leonard. He actually wrote to America's Most Wanted, and they made fun of him because of it. They said that it would never be aired. They would never come to Salinas for Ruben's death, and they were wrong. They were wrong. Donna Brandt, who was one of the people who interview you, she came down. She came down twice, actually. She came down twice, and she told me she was interested in doing Ruben's story, and she did it, and she did a great job too. And I'm really thankful for that. You know, there was a couple of things in the video that I didn't like because Ruben didn't dress with clothes like that. You know, they made him look like a little cholito, and he wasn't.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because that didn't, from what you were talking about, they didn't sound like him with the one button.
No, you know that blue sweater he wears on that shirt that I put on, the picture I put on all the time? Yeah. That's the kind of stuff he liked. He liked blue sweaters. He liked red sweaters. He liked black sweaters. That's what you would see him. You wouldn't see him in anything baggy or looking like a little cholito because he didn't dress like that. I was upset about that, but there was nothing I could do. You know, it was already done. And
I bet you were just going like this. I bet you he was angry at the clothes. He was up there going, "Oh my goodness, they put the wrong clothes on me." No.
I don't know.
I think she got a phone call. You're all right. Did you get a phone call? Facebook. You're still there. We can hear you. Yeah, we're there. It's just Facebook. Just give it you're there. You're good.
Here I am.
Facebook. Sometimes when you get a phone call, you have an awkward face like this for about 5 seconds. No.
Yeah.
No, I bet you Ruben was up there going, "Oh man, these people, they made me look like I don't dress like that." I'm just kidding. But no, yeah.
And then the father, you know, the guy that came out as the ghost father. Ruben's father died when Ruben's father died when he was 26 years old. So to me, he was a young kid still, you know. And they put an older man, which I met years later, and he's a very, very nice man. And he was so excited to meet me. And he comes up to me and he tells me, he goes, "I'm Ruben's dad." And I go, "What?" He goes, I thought to myself, I wouldn't know if you were Ruben's dad, you know. Yeah. He goes, "You know, I'm the ghost dad." And it's like, okay. He go, and we become really good friends. He's a really nice man. But at that time, I was really upset because he was old compared to Ruben's dad. Ruben's dad was still young when he died.
That would have been me. I'd have been like this. I'd been like 2. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just playing around now. I'm just kidding around. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, but I would say that that was, it actually aired February 5th, 1994. Mariscal was captured July of 1994, and it was all because of America's Most Wanted. They got word that Mariscal had taken off to Mexico because he was actually jumping from California to Nevada to Mexico. Because after he moved out of, after he got out of California, they moved his family to Nevada to get him away from, I guess, to protect him. Yeah, that's what they do, right? So when this was all happening, Mariscal's younger brother committed a murder in Nevada. And they were worried that Mariscal was jumping back and forth from California to Nevada to Mexico. So they actually finally got word that Mariscal was in Mexico hiding. They went, the federal prosecution unit that's in San Diego, they went into Mexico, put a warrant for his arrest, and he was sentenced to 20 years. He was sentenced to 20 years in a Mexican state prison for my son's death. No parole. But he's out already.
Well, it's sad. He should have been in prison for a lot longer than that. I just got news with Kathy yesterday and this morning. I don't think he should have been able to get out with killing your son. I think that's a travesty, and I think our judicial system sucks.
Yes, it does. It sucks a lot, yeah. But at least I got some kind of justice.
When he got out,
I don't see any justice for a lot of these mothers. I'm sorry? He got out July of 2014. That was his 20 years.
Did they tell you when he was getting out? Did they give you information?
He was supposed to tell me, but I haven't gotten any word from anybody. I've called once, and nobody seems to answer the phone numbers that I had before. So I really don't know, and I've asked a few people if they can look into it, and nobody seems to be able to help me get any answers about what happened with Mariscal after 2014.
That's sad. So he only does 20 years, and they don't tell you if. I mean, you got to be worried about you and your family too. This guy could always come back and cause more trouble.
Well, he can, but you know what? Arthur from Orange County, Scraper. I just love the guy. He uses Ruben's T-shirt. He's made Ruben so famous on that south of California that Mariscal, I think, would be stupid to come back.
Good.
Too many people know Ruben's story already, and I don't see it. I'm not scared. The Lord takes care of me,
Amen. I got to remember not to act in the flesh. Thank you for the rebuke. No, seriously. I'm always doing Bible studies and stuff, and then I get all acted in the flesh. Let me get some holy Gatorade. Yeah. Hold on. I'm just kidding. No. Splash the phone. I've been seeing you going around, though, and doing a lot of these rallies and stuff. Do they allow you to do that? Well, yes. I know they do, but I mean, do they allow you to go out there and speak and talk about Ruben?
It's still hard for me, I've been going to juvenile hall and to the youth center that I'm Soledad Prison since 1993. And I talk about him, and it's still hard for me. I mean, I still cry like a baby, and I can't let him die, I can't let him die in vain.
It's okay. I cry all the time. You're all right if you cry.
I just don't want it to happen to anybody in my family again, or anybody else's family, because I was alone for a long time, long time, People slammed doors on my face. I even went to Washington to testify before Congress, and that Jackson Lee, I can't stand that woman. All she did was call us a bunch of racists. Here I'm crying about my baby, and she's calling me a racist.
She's calling you a racist, and you're a Latino. That makes no sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It only they only protect the illegals, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, well, I mean, how
Or
does
the
that make?
murderer.
You know, I mean, you're sitting there, you're trying to get justice for not only your son, but get the message out there that we have a huge problem with illegal alien criminal activity, and they're trying to call you a racist. Do they not know that you
Yeah.
live right next to the border? That your family obviously came into America from Mexico? I mean, how stupid.
My dad came from, my dad was from Cualcomán, Michoacán. So, but my dad never told me I was Mexican. He always called us his little pochitas or his Indias because he always told us my mom was Indian, and my mom always told me she was Indian. But I never believed it until I did her DNA. She's 76% Native American. And then I did mine in December. I'm 52% Native American. So that to me is weird.
I'll tell you what, if you go into Mexico, there's a lot of places with the Aztecs and the Incas, so I could believe that. I have the B-23 thing, and I haven't taken it yet because of pre-crime. No, I'm just kidding. I get on conspiracy theory. I'm like, I haven't taken the B-23 because of pre-crime. I hear that's a new thing out there. I'm just kidding. It's actually on the fridge. I'll show it to you when we're not doing the interview, but it's just nuts. You're right. So your son gets murdered. They catch the killer. What was his name again?
Ezekiel Mariscal.
Ezekiel Mariscal. And when they caught him, did they take him right to jail, or how did that go?
Yeah, he went straight to jail. He went straight to a judge, and the judge sentenced him 20 years. I got the paperwork. I got all the paperwork where they told me, that they didn't need any eyewitnesses. They didn't need nothing. The judge just sentenced him to 20 years for Ruben's death.
And then what? And then after your son was murdered, was it a year later or was it a couple weeks later when his best friend was murdered too?
Willie was murdered in October 31st on Halloween in 1993.
Wow.
Yeah. The so-called norteños of Salinas went crazy at a party trying to show who was more tougher, and they shot each other up. Yeah, and Willie died there.
See, they want to try to make it a racist thing when really it's a social problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a power thing. Yeah.
Well,
and the sad thing about it, a lot of the politicians that were in power at that year, a lot of their children were at this party, and they all denied it. And they send their kids off somewhere else. Almost every politician here in Salinas has sent their kids away. Why? Because their kids are no good. But they're good to show us that our kids are no good, or tell us our kids are no good. Yeah. Wow. That's the way it is here.
So a bunch of those kids were at the same party, and then they just hid that fact from everybody, huh?
Yep, they hid that from everybody. Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the update on the America's Most Wanted. They were doing the interview with Willie, and then they did the update. He was murdered too, and they were making it all about Salinas and all the things that were going on with the gang activity. But I don't know. It just seems like it's the same thing that we have in 2018. It's just nuts.
And did you see the second clip of America's Most Wanted when President Clinton came to Salinas to recognize everybody's effort? Yeah, it's like, we took it down to one. But as soon as the politicians got involved with our program, it went down. I
don't like Bill Clinton, but that's the only time I would say that was a good picture of you with the president.
You know what? I do not like Bill Clinton. I do not like him, but I deserved my picture. If anything, I think I deserved my picture, but I'm
just saying, in case you ever see me do a video on calling Bill Clinton a rapist or all that other stuff, I don't like Bill Clinton. No.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought he was Hispanic and black too, but it didn't work out. Not just kidding. He didn't inhale. I'm just kidding. But no. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, at least they caught him. So he got 20 years. Then they let him out. Was 20 years the original sentence, or was it a plea bargain?
That was the original sentence.
20 years?
I asked for him to be extradited, but everybody here, the cops, the detective, they told me to leave it alone. That he was better off in Mexico. If he was lucky, he would be fed over there. That they're tougher over there. And even my husband told me the same thing. Just let it go, let it go. But I think my husband was more scared than anything else.
Well, I don't blame him. You know, I mean, you have the Mexican mafia is one of the biggest cartels out there, and everybody makes them sound like they're not serious. That's a hardcore game.
You know, I never really put like two and two together on the Huntington Beach thing, or is it Huntington Park, Huntington Beach, whatever that is over there. But that's where all the gangs are, and it's like, you know, I never realized Mariscal could have been part of the MS-13, you know, until recently. It's like, oh my God.
Well, what people don't know too about Salinas and into San Diego, all the way down there, you have the most drugs that are brought into America by illegal alien criminals, and then they get Mexican Americans to work with them, get them in their gangs, and then we have trafficking.
Yeah.
You know, they make it sound like these people are just coming for free school, and really they're in the drug business. You know, they're trying to get people hooked so they have customers. And the sad thing is, I believe in my heart that your son was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And those people who committed this act were, not only were they gangbanging, but they were probably selling drugs and stuff. And your son was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. They were bullying him. So, sorry about that.
They bullied a child. Because that's what he was. He was just a little boy.
Well, how old was he when he was murdered? He was 13?
He had just turned 13. Yes.
Yeah, he's still a baby.
He was only 13 for 28 days. That's it.
My son's 11, thinks he's in college. He's a baby. Yeah, did you see him? He was wearing his little whatever that crap is, the Pikachu thing, and he was all coming over here.
I could see them walk behind you real quick.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get him to give me a Gatorade. He's over there eating Easter candy. I'm like, can you help a brother out, man? Can you open the freezer? You know what I mean? Like, no, can't do it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been seeing you. You've been going out there with Agnes. She was on earlier. I don't know if she's still watching, but you guys have been out there going to the rallies. I know you've been seeing the stuff with Arizona. I believe Jennifer and them, you probably met her, Jennifer and Lisa, those guys. They were down there. Ben was down there.
Oh, Ben is great. He's so sweet. Yeah, I like Ben. And Marco Gutierrez, Arthur, they're all great patriots. Love them all.
They were out there doing the. They were down at the Capitol before you guys did that too, and then was no, that was the other one. Judge. What's that judge's name was there? Who's the judge in I can't believe I forgot. There was somebody that you and Agnes are standing next to, and then there were a couple future politicians that were there. Agnes's husband's actually running for mayor, I think, right? Is that what's going on?
Yes, he is. He's running for mayor.
I hope he wins.
I wish him luck because I tried to run for office this year locally in Salinas, and the Republicans actually endorsed the Democrat.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. No, that's how corrupt we are here in Salinas. Yeah. The Republicans actually endorsed the Democrat.
Well, I'm in a safe space, so I'm going to say this, and if anybody wants to kick my ass later, they can do it. But have you ever noticed everybody keeps trying to live in, blood out? That movie was out in like 1993. They just need to get over it. You know what I mean? It's 2018. We just got to get over it. But no, I mean, it's just nuts.
Yeah, it is
20
nuts.
years. I can't believe they only gave him 20 years. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I was
if you were out there and we had committed a crime and shot somebody, they'd put me in for life, especially because I look white. It would have been a hate crime. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it would have been. They would have tried to make, don't they make all the Latinos that look white into a white crime? Yeah, they say they're white or something.
Well, okay, and let's throw this at you. What do you think about what's going on with the illegal alien crime Isn't it nuts? We have Pelosi stand up for 8 hours talking about how she wishes her grandson was Hispanic, or he said he wanted to be Hispanic.
That's the dumbest thing. That is dumb.
I was laughing
I
for
don't know.
8 whole hours as she was trying to convince people that her grandson wanted to be Mexican.
Wow. That's sad for her.
Well, I mean, you look at Hollywood and you look at all these people in office, and they're not getting rid of their butlers and maids. You know what I mean? They're not giving them a free education or trying to make sure that they're dreamers. They just keep them working. You know?
Or abusing them, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You said it, I didn't. No, I'm just kidding. His little Mexican son over there.
Yeah.
Wendy, she was on video 3, Angel Mom live video 3. She said her daughter's killer got 60 years, so that's good. That's
wow,
nuts.
that is good. Where was that at?
Wendy, where was that at? I forgot. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to make sure I get the right place. That's just nuts. Because I'll tell you, we've been kind of going different with this video, but, you know, when you look at what's going on, they're always talking, I mean, MS-13 is barely a problem now. You know what I mean? Connecticut, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You know, Mexican gangs have been there forever. You know, if it's not the Latino Thug Kings, or if it's not the Crips or the Bloods, or if it's MS-13, you know, these people are stupid. These people in the Democratic Party have no idea what's really going on. You know, it's a drug war, and people are being killed in the process. They have Dennis Michael Lynch. I'll agree with him. You know, if they really wanted to, they just send a drone over with the drugs. You know what I mean? If they really wanted to, they just blow the wall up. They don't care. What's his name? Vicente Fox. You know, talking about beating up our president and all this stuff. Just nuts.
Yeah. That man is crazy. He shouldn't even be. Who give him the time of day? Why do they even give him the time of day? That man is crazy.
And then they actually put him on Fox News and try to ask him what he wants to do.
They're just a bunch of haters. Trump's doing the best he could, and I already know politics, and I know how corrupt it is. I mean, he's standing his ground, and that's good. I know it's hard too. It's hard to stand your ground, especially when everybody's coming against you.
You were running for public office, and they instead of having you, they'd rather have a Democrat. That's messed up, man.
Yeah, that was messed up. Yeah, I ran for city
you know
council.
Mr. Joseph Lopez?
He's from Salinas, actually. He's a good friend of one of my other friends.
He said the political situation in Salinas is somewhat strange. I'm pretty sure
It
that
is
if they'd rather have a Democrat in connected to Hillary Clinton, that pedophile. Sorry, Bill's a pedophile.
We have a new supervisor that came out of Watsonville. He wasn't even in our district, and all of a sudden he was elected for a supervisor here in Monterey County. Not even Watsonville wanted him, but Salinas did. You know, it's strange.
How do you feel about the stuff that's going on in California? You got Feinstein, Waters, Pelosi, Jerry Brown.
Oh,
I mean, have you guys, like, are you looking for a new state to live in? Have you tried to relocate?
You know what? I really, really hate California now. It's like I want to move out of here, but the only thing that keeps me here is actually my Reuben. He's in King City, buried there, and I don't know if I could move away far from his graveside, you know? It's not like I go every day either, but at least I know where he's at. And I could go whenever I pass through there.
There's nothing wrong with that.
He was buried next to his dad, and I just can't see myself move. I don't know. I get scared. I could tell you I get scared for my kids and my grandkids, but it's like if I move, I don't know if my son Fernando will follow me. He's my baby, you know. He was 3 years old when Ruben died, and if it wasn't for him being on my side, I wouldn't have made it.
Well, I just got to ask you this. Are you locked and loaded? You got some extra guns? You're a patriot.
I'm a patriot, but I don't have a gun.
We got to get you a Glock.
No. I got to get me one. I don't think anybody should take our guns because I mean, only the criminals are gonna have the guns, and that's not right, you know.
Oh, did you
Don't
see
take
that
our
video? That
guns.
guy was like,
It
okay,
wasn't a gun that killed Ruben. It was the person standing behind the gun that
exactly.
killed him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I have
surprised I
nothing
didn't
against.
get kicked off Facebook. I was showing all the different knives I have to cook with that could kill people. Now you got people in England telling you they're going to take your knives away. These people are so stupid.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know who's sitting next to you. I heard their voice. They probably agree with me. These people are idiots. There's no common sense. They've never been on the streets. That's why. And I've never really been on the streets, but I know that I got family that been on the streets. And just because you don't have a knife doesn't mean they're not going to pick up anything and make a weapon out of it. These guys are idiots. The police in England right now are afraid of their own people to go and put handcuffs on them if they're breaking the law. So there's a big problem going on. Taking the knives away. Next thing you know, they're going to be taking away everything. You know, it's just a socialist communist agenda. That's all it really is.
Yeah. I don't know.
We need to, you know what we could do? Nobody talks about this, but we could get you some grenades. You know what I mean? Right? Stupid. People are so dumb.
You don't know how much I wanted when the night Ruben died. The night Ruben died, I just wanted to blow up the police station. I know it was crazy. That's the first thing that came up to my mind because I heard that.
I hear that all the time.
The cops were right behind my son's killer in about 2 minutes.
Man.
They were behind him. And they even actually stopped him 2 hours before he killed my son, and they still let him go.
Ah.
You know?
I'll tell you what, though. There's some good cops out there, but, man, I know what you mean. It's just pure anger. You're not aiming for anybody, but you're just mad. It's just nuts.
No, I just wanted to put it under the police station and blow it up.
And then in the future, run for office. Can you imagine? They're like, so what makes you a good candidate? Oh, one day I was going to blow up the police department. I thought I might as well run. I'm just kidding. Well, this is your video. I think this is a great video. How would you like? I'm kidding. Because I haven't even asked you. I wanted to ask you a couple things. One, I asked you about illegal aliens, what you're feeling on, Mexican Americans that aren't legal. I mean, it's the same thing, just stupid. These people out there on camera, we're dreamers too. I bet you Ruben was a dreamer. He had dreams, didn't he?
He had dreams. He had a lot of dreams, yeah.
Doesn't it suck? You're Latino, right? You're like my mom's family and my and you want to go to school and you don't want to be in debt. You don't want to have welfare. That's how we grew up when we were kids, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, the Mexicans from over the border, they're dreamers. We need to give them everything for free. Don't you wish they would do that for us?
I worked in the field before right now I work in a grocery store. And I worked in a grocery store for over almost 28 years. And before that, I worked in the fields. I liked working in the fields. And I wasn't on welfare, I just thanked God every day that I had a job to feed my children. That's all I needed. To feed my children and pay my bills. But, these people get everything. What was it? Why wasn't it there when I was in the field, There was nothing for us back then. And even now, if you work and you have a good job, you don't qualify for anything. Your kids don't even qualify for programs in the schools. And I think that's ridiculous. School should be for everybody equal, I think. Don't be giving other people more. Nothing makes me more mad than my twin daughters, they're 17 years old. They're going to graduate this year. Nothing makes me more mad than having to compete with DACA. That makes me upset. It makes me very upset because there's programs that should be for my daughters that are born here and are legal here and have a right to, and they're going to give it to DACA kids. I volunteered in December to give toys to the kids. I do this every year.
Well, hold on. I'm going to make you mad because I said we're going to take the gloves off. We have these people, they're crying and complaining about DACA. 67 years old, homeboy is barely going back to Mexico. He'd already had his grandbabies, you know what I mean? And they have these people, right? We have lawyers who aren't even legal that are practicing American laws, trying to say they have the right to practice law here, who are promoting illegal alien criminals. I don't care if you're Mexican, English, from Canada. I don't care if you're from England, Ireland, whatever. If you're illegal, you shouldn't be here. And these people, they want to try to go on TV. I saw a guy on Tucker Carlson. The guy's an illegal Mexican, and then I saw another video with Lisa and them. I don't know if it was it was in California, it was in San Diego, and the guy's openly talking about being an illegal immigrant, and he's not afraid of ICE. I think ICE should arrest all these people and just send them back. Build the wall, send it back, stop trying to take us to war with Russia. You know what I mean? Let us just live and be happy. Yeah, we must take care of Americans first. No to DACA. I agree with that.
No to DACA. Send them back.
Is that your husband that's next to you?
They're stealing my children and grandchildren's future.
Is that your husband that's next to you?
That's my son. Did you see him?
No. I heard his voice. That's why I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. He made a good point.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
Is that Fernando?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell him I said, what's up, man? It's cool. You can be on camera if you want. This isn't Fox News. I hate those people.
No, he doesn't have a T-shirt on. No, you don't want to see him without a T-shirt.
Oh.
My son, you know, he's total opposite of Ruben. Ruben was a tiny little guy at 13. Let's just say that Nando could wear Ruben's underwear at 13 when he was 3 years old.
Oh, man.
Nando is 6'4" and a half.
He's like, you don't forget the half inch on that. No.
Yes. Nando has a totally different father, so he's totally big. He's big.
There's nothing wrong with that. Women like big guys. My wife's dad is 6'5", and he's a Fresquez. Big dude. When I first met him, it was like this. I'm not even lying. It was like, yo, what's up, bro? Yeah, I'm serious. I was like,
Nando took a picture of me and him on Facebook. I don't know if he still has it, but he's wearing a sombrero and he's hugging me with a sarape and he's laughing because he knows I don't like that stuff.
There is nothing, and I'm a short guy. I'm 5'9", right at 5'10". But Gina will lie and say I'm only 5'8". I'm kidding. She knows I'm 5'10". Yeah, I'm a short guy. I love it. We eat green chili like the 4 nights out of the week. So we had fajitas the other day, and everybody thinks I'm a white guy, so I just go with it. You know what I mean? I grew up with homemade tortillas every day. You know, my grandmother's name was Cecilia. My mom's name is Caroline. Everybody's like, Eric's a white dude. What's going on with this? I'm like, yeah, it's cool, man. Right on. My Aunt Pam that's on, her mom was from Spain. Trust me. I feel you. It's okay, Fernando. Is he on this side? It's okay. No, it's okay. Be who you are.
My daughter-in-law's mother's watching me too. She's watching me on Facebook right now.
And I'll tell you what. You want to know what's crazy? I have no tattoos because I'm afraid of needles. My wife has tattoos. Huh? So my wife's got like, you know, cool little tattoos on the side. I'm like, geez. And I was like, I'm going to get my first tattoo. My daughter's name is Enza. I'm going to get ENZA like somewhere because it's this big. You know what I mean? Get my first tattoo, feel good about myself. You know what I mean? Probably won't. Yeah. But everybody's making fun of me because I got this kind of straight guy, white guy thing going. So I just go with it. No, just I got my mom's dad's last name because, you know, things happened. And no, I'm not a bastard, but it's okay. No.
Yeah.
So how's everything else been going? So you've been doing all this work. I've been seeing pictures of you guys been going to rallies. They're having you do speeches. What was this last thing you went to where you were with Agnes? Was that just the one that was in California?
That was at the border. That was at the border in San Diego. Yeah, that was in San Diego. That was cool. I was hoping Trump would come by, but you know, Secret Service, I know how they are. Yeah, but it was really cool, and it was good seeing Agnes there. And
were you screaming, build that wall?
Build that wall, yes, build that wall. I'm probably the one that screamed the loudest.
Build that wall in Spanish too?
Yes.
Good for
yes.
You. I never see that on TV. Can you imagine someone's all screaming in Spanish, build that wall? Like, they need to be doing that, man. Stupid people.
Yeah.
Because they always make it like it's white people, like saying, oh, the wall, we need to build that wall. No, it's a bunch of Hispanics that live in Salinas that are saying, build that damn wall too. We got a bunch of crime going on.
Yes, build the wall.
And
there's a lot of people that agree with me, but they're just too scared to say it. I mean, it's like they're scared to say it, and they know I'll say it anyway. You know, people try to discourage me and they bash me and they tell me stuff, you know, but I just can't let it go. I can't. I'm tried and it's like,
Tell your bodyguard Fernando, he's got kids. He doesn't want them over here too. He's over there screaming, build a wall.
he votes. He votes. And he votes the right way. Yeah.
No. Tell him I said he knows. He wants that wall built. He's a big dude. He wants to beat a couple of those guys up. They keep coming over. 3,000 people attacking 15 Border Patrol officers. And then they got that one fake Mexican dude who's wearing like khakis and a nice shirt going, come on, let's go. Throw rocks. We're going over there. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's just stupid.
Yeah. I just hope it gets better. I just hope everything, they do the wall. I just want that wall. And you know.
Well, and the sad thing is,
they need to be deported. They need to be deported. You know, California is like, I'm just so sick of all these victim groups. I tell you, they don't do anything for us. They don't fight. They're letting the Democrats get away with whatever. And our kids are being killed. And like today, the victim march in Sacramento, it's like, why go with Jerry Brown is going to tell you how great and everything is. And he's the one that's letting them out and letting them kill us. And all these things they're doing.
And there's even legal
I don't get
Americans that have green cards that are saying, build the wall. You have legal immigrants who, with their green card, are looking at that wall going, why the hell isn't this built yet? I came over from Mexico to become legal. I want the wall too. They're over there wearing the Make America Great hats, you know? People are stupid.
I was told today not to be talking about, I was told by a friend of mine today, you know, I was sort of disappointed because she told me, you know, when you go to juvenile hall and you go to the prisons, don't talk about illegal immigration because you turn people off. And it's like, I have to talk about it. That's really boring.
Why? Because the truth hurts?
I don't know. They just told me tell Ruben's story, but don't talk about the illegal immigration part.
Next time you see them at Walmart.
She said everybody has a family member that's illegal. That's what she said.
Who cares? Who cares? We're not pinpointing their names. I'm just saying I have family that's probably illegal. Go home. I don't care.
I have a lot of family.
It could be my third cousin, Chewy. I don't care. Go home. I don't like you. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a cousin named Chewy, but you know what I mean? It's like, I like you, I'm just saying, but be legal. You know what I mean? We have a lot of illegal criminals who are stealing money. They get free school, free health care, free food stamps. You know, they get...
Yeah.
I mean, what don't they get anymore? They get everything. While we're out here struggling, trying to go to Walmart to buy Gatorade for 88 cents. You know, I see these people just loading up their grocery carts that I know are illegal. You know, it's like, oh, must be nice.
You know, when when I had Fernando 30 years ago, I was still working at a greenhouse. I was making $199 a week, okay? And I didn't qualify for WIC. I didn't qualify for WIC. And I couldn't afford the milk. My phone just got disconnected. Hold on 1 second. I don't want to die. I couldn't afford the milk, the Similac. So I took my baby, who was only a month and a half old, off of the formula.
We're talking about Fernando, right? And he said he's
yes. Well, you know, my baby weighed 10 pounds when he was born. He weighed 10 pounds when he was born, so he was a huge baby. I think he was already walking out the door.
That's funny.
Yeah. But, you know, every time I think about, you know, I had to take him off the formula at a month and a half because I couldn't afford it, and I didn't qualify for WIC. It makes me cry because, you know, my baby didn't qualify for milk, you know, and this is my country. I was born here and I was raised here, you know. Why can't my baby have the free milk? They said I made too much money. I'm making $199.
You can come in, you're good. We're getting ready to go, you're good. Sorry. So,
yeah.
Sorry, I was waiting for her to say something. I thought she was grabbing the microphone. How would you like to end the video? This is your video.
How would I like to end? I love my president. I wouldn't change him for the world. That's why I voted for him, and that's why when he held my hand in Costa Mesa, in Anaheim, and told me that everything was going to be okay, I believed him. You know, I never got my picture with him because I actually let my daughter take my place because Maria didn't let me go in. But
well, we call her Maria Escobar Espinoza.
yeah, she needs to be called more than that. That woman is not friendly.
Oh yeah, and, she's also a traitor.
I can't believe what she did. Yeah, I can't believe with everything she did to my family and everybody else's family. And yeah, I love Robin though. Even if she did do me wrong, I still love Robin, and I still let them use Ruben's T-shirt. You know, because how else am I going to get my baby's word out? People need to know what happened to him, and he's been there since day one, supporting my president that I love, and I just wish these people would stop being haters, because that's all they are. They're just haters.
They hate us because they ain't us, right?
Yeah, yeah. And he's doing a great job. It might take forever, but at least he's doing something. He's doing a lot more than Bush did, and I actually liked Bush, and I actually voted for Bush, and I helped in his campaign a lot too. But it's like he really disappointed me. Because a lot of these politicians, they come over here and ask you for help, and then you help them, and then they forget about you and throw you to the side. You know, I wasn't invited to the inaugural because of Maria, but my president deserved to be there, and all the other angel moms decided to be there, and I'm glad they all made it. And I think the Lord will give me my chance one day to actually take a picture with President Trump. If I with Clinton, I better have one with Trump. Yes.
Well, I'm just glad you did the video today. I'm sorry that we have all these stupid people in office, but I'll get back in contact with you like I'm going to do with the rest of the moms. And I'm sorry about Maria Escobar Espinoza, that crook. That's just how I feel. And
yeah.
I thank you for coming on and doing the video. If you ever need anything, you can get in contact with me on Messenger and stuff. So if you have anything else, let me know. You have a good day. I appreciate you.
Right. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, tell Fernando I said hi. Or goodbye.
I will. I'll tell him. I'll tell him to put you on Facebook. All right?
All right, later. You have a good day. Appreciate you.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll have another video coming up next week or sooner. I think we have one Thursday at 4 p.m. with Marjorie Green. So you guys have a good one.